Ever had that 2 a.m. moment where you suddenly think to yourself, wait, am I actually going to be able to retire like ever? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. The traditional UK retirement plan, work 40 odd years, pay your taxes, then swan off into the sunset at 65 with a comfy pension, is well and truly broken. And it's not some dynamic headline, it's happening. Quietly, in the background, while most people are trying to keep up with rent, bills, and the price of oat milk. Let's start with the classic safety net, the state pension. From April 2025, the full new state pension became £230.25 a week. That's roughly £12,000 a year before tax. Now, let's be honest, that doesn't even cover rent in most UK cities, let alone food, utilities, transport, and the occasional treat. That's not live a little money, that's hope your boiler doesn't break this winter money. And not everyone gets the full amount. To qualify, you need 35 years of national insurance contributions. So if you've taken some time out to raise kids, or gone freelance, traveled, switched careers, or had a period of unemployment, you might only get a partial pension. And you probably won't find out how much you're going to get right up until retirement age. Oh, and the older version of the state pension, even lower, £176.45 a week. That's about $9,200 a year. That might have worked in 1992, but today, that's one energy bill away from panic. People are living longer. That is great in theory. However, living longer means stretching your money further, much, much further. Right now, the average life expectancy in the UK is about 81 years, and it's higher for women. So, someone retires at 65, they need to cover at least 16 years of expenses, probably more. And that doesn't even factor in late life health costs, mobility issues, and having to fork out for care support. Let's face it, downsizing isn't the golden ticket it used to be either. House prices might be high, but so are the costs to sell, to move, and to buy again. Plus, the care home cliff is real. Even if you do free up equity, you could end up spending it all just to get a decent place that doesn't smell like cabbage and lost hope. Defined benefit pension used to be the crown jewel of retirement planning. Work somewhere long enough and they'll guarantee you a set income for life based on your salary and years of service. But today, that dream is dust. Only 12% of private sector workers are still in these kind of schemes, and most are closed to new joiners or being phased out quietly. They're basically unicorns at this point. The rest of us, we've got defined contribution pensions. You put in a bit, your employer puts in a bit, and the pot gets invested. And you hope the market behaves itself. There's no promise of a set income, no long life payment, just a pot and whatever's in that pot when you retire. That's it. That's the game. Let's talk about the elephant in the bank account, the cost of living. Yeah, inflation's gone down from its record highs, but that doesn't mean things are cheap again. It means they're not getting more expensive as quickly. But prices? They're still way higher than they were even a year or 2 years ago. Energy bills have nearly doubled since 2020. Groceries cost a small fortune. Train fares are ridiculous. That's if you can even get on the train. And your average monthly rent in London is now pushing £2,000 for a flat with questionable plumbing. Even the little things sting. A Tesco meal deal is now flirting with £4. And a pint? Don't even ask. And if everyday life is this expensive now, what's it going to be like in 20, 30, 40 years? Your pension pot needs to grow fast just to keep up. Never mind grow ahead. This one hurts the most. Back in 2020, to live a basic retirement, food, rent, transport, bills, no frills, you needed around £68,000 saved up. Now, you need at least £108,000 saved up. That is a 60% increase in just 3 years. And that's just for survival mode, not holidays in Spain or popping to the pubs on Fridays. None of that. For a comfortable retirement, think decent holidays, a car that actually works, and maybe helping the grandkids with uni. You're looking at needing around £330,000 to £540,000 in total pension savings. You heard that correctly. That is actual reality. And yet, the average pension pot at retirement in the UK is just under 107,000, which, when spread out over 20 years, that's basically £5,000 a year. Crazy. Here's the quiet part that no one's talking about. The government pension bill is now at 138 billion a year. That's around 5% of GDP, and is climbing. By 2070, that could rise by 7% of GDP. That is massive. So there's real concerns about how long they can keep promising generous state pensions, especially under the triple lock. That's the thing that guarantees pensions go up each year by the highest amount, whether that's inflation, wages, or 2.5%. But the triple lock isn't guaranteed to stick around forever. There's already whisperings in Westminster about scaling it back or scrapping it altogether. And don't be surprised if the retirement age creeps up again. People in their 20s or 30s might not be retiring until they're 70 or later. That's wild. So yeah, the whole work 40 years, retire at 65, live out your days in peace idea, it's a lovely fairy tale, but it's not how things work anymore. Not unless you've got a solid plan and start early. The upside, it's not too late for some of you to do something about it. Here's a few small practical moves that make a difference. Check your state pension forecast online. Seriously, just do it. Find old pensions from past jobs. You might have cash floating around without even realizing it. Consider upping your pension contributions, even if it's just 1 or 2%. If you're self-employed and don't have a workplace scheme, open up a personal pension. And yeah, scary as it sounds, learn a bit about investing. Doesn't have to be Wolf of Wall Street level, just understand the basics so your money can grow smarter. Because hoping things will magically work out, that's not a plan, that's a wish. So, here's the big question. What does retirement actually look like for you right now? Are you cruising along, clueless, or are you clinging onto some sort of dream? Let me know in the comments below. Seriously, let's start that conversation. And if this video helped you rethink things even a tiny bit, please hit the subscribe button, like, and share it with some friends. This might really help them out. We've still got time, but not forever. So let's figure this out. Anyway, see you in the next one. Peace.